What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about one of Ableton's stock audio effects units, and that's going to be Utility. So let's check it out. Alright, so here we are in the box. We're going to go over to our collections categories, go to audio effects, scroll all the way down to Utility. Now Utility can be used on a MIDI track as long as you've already dropped your virtual instrument in there. I'm going to throw it on an audio track because we're not actually running anything through it today. As with all Ableton devices, we have the device title bar, which includes the device activator right here, which you can use. Under that, you have the input section. So first and foremost, they give you an opportunity to change the phase, flip the phase on the left side and the right side. Very useful for figuring out if you have any phase issues in your mix. You then have this little menu, which you can choose if you're going to be operating on the left side, the right side, stereo being both, or swapping them. Left is right, right is left. Under that you have the width knob, stereo width. Taking this up in value is going to push information away from the center of the speakers and towards the outer sides of the speakers. Can be good if you want to declutter your mix. Going the opposite direction is going to take that down to mono, essentially. Put it right in the middle. You also have the button right underneath that allows you to one-click, put the whole channel in mono, which is great if you want to do some mix referencing or something like that. You also have the opportunity under that to just put the bass frequencies in mono. So if you enable that, it gives you the option of which frequency you want to start doing it at. You need to actually choose which frequency you want everything to be passed through to go to mono. You have a little bass mono audition button right here. That's the headphones icon. So you can listen to which frequencies you're actually sending into mono. So very helpful. On the right side, you have the output, which is defined by two knobs. You have the gain knob, which I find myself using quite often. This is just a very general volume control, gain control. If you want to learn more about gain and gain staging, watch my other video. And finally, you have a balance. The balance is going to, it acts as a pan pot, just like the ones on any of your other channels. Great. Finally, you have the mute button, which is going to mute the entire channel, which is pretty helpful if you want to do some really clean cuts. If you don't want to work with audio, or you just want to make sure that a certain part in your song is actually quiet, put that on whatever channel you're working. Last but not least, we have DC. This filters out DC offsets and extremely low frequencies that are far below the audible range. It will only have a sonic effect if the signal contains these frequencies and is processed after utility with nonlinear effects such as compressors or wave shapers. So using DC is something that you might not typically hear in your mix, but it's something that can help clean your mixes up, and you'll find a lot of mastering engineers are using DC to sort of clean things up. So that's all the buttons on Utility. Now that we have a basic understanding of what Utility is and the functions it can perform, let me give you a few examples of how I like to use it in my tracks. Personally, I like to use the stereo width knob to take volume information away from the center of my mix and move it out towards the side of the mix. You could also do this in the opposite way, that is to take outside information and push it in. I find it more useful to be pushing things out personally, or at least that's where I use it most of the time. The second feature that I find myself using quite a lot is the gain feature. One example of that would be if I'm using a virtual instrument, typically it's a lot quieter than whatever I'm referencing against it. So if I'm just trying to do a quick demo, I'll use that gain knob to bring the virtual instrument up in volume without having to touch the track volume. For me, the most useful way to use Utility is with volume automation. So if you put Utility on a track that you want to automate the volume levels of, you're then automating the gain parameters in Utility rather than touching the actual track fader, which leaves you more space in the mixing stage to make adjustments there without having to go back and rewrite that automation. Hopefully this has been educational for you. Personally, I can't believe I went as long as I did without even knowing about Utility. It's a very versatile, very useful audio effect unit, and it's typically free with most versions of Ableton. So try it out on your tracks. Let me know in the comments how it goes. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.